Our News on Terror segment tonight, during President Trump's address to Congress, he did something President Obama couldn't muster up the courage to do in the entirety of his 8 years in the White House. President Trump said the phrase radical Islamic terror. But according to a new report, Trump did this despite pushback from his new national security advisor, Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster. Take a look.
Our obligation is to serve, protect, and defend the citizens of the United States. We are also taking strong measures to protect our nation from radical Islamic terrorism. As promised, I directed the Department of Defense to develop a plan to demolish and destroy ISIS, a network of lawless savages that have slaughtered Muslims and Christians and men and women and children of all faiths and all beliefs. We will work with our allies, including our friends and allies in the Muslim world, to extinguish this vile enemy from our planet.
With me now from the Center for Security Policy, VanNess. Alex, hi, how are you?
I'm well, Liz. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. It's always great to see you. Alex, I mean, you heard President Trump. He made a pretty specific point, even punctuating the three separate words individually: radical Islamic terrorism. He made a point of saying it, in his words. His actions show that he's serious about fighting it. His appointment of General Mattis, his appointment of General McMaster. President Trump said that he's told his Department of Defense to craft a plan to defeat the Islamic State terror group. But Alex, you and I have talked about this before. We know that it's not necessarily the group that needs to be defeated, because one group springs from another group at some point. It's the ideology of radical Islamic terror that needs to be defeated. Do you expect President Trump's plan to encompass all of that, the ideology, or just the group itself?
I do expect President Trump's plan to encompass all of that. First and foremost, you do need a plan from the military to handle the people on the ground with the guns killing people right now, but you also do need to handle the root ideology involved in that. And I believe President Trump is taking steps to deal with that. And we see that recent reports have come out that he plans to change around President Obama's Countering Violent Extremism program, which was just rife with political correctness and involved many people who were involved with extremism to begin with, such as the Council for Arab Islamic Relations and the Islamic Society of North America, which have connections with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Right, and I mean, that's the other thing we've heard President Trump say that he plans to do, or perhaps plans to do, and that is designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a terror group. Alex, it seems to me that would be a pretty good start, because the Muslim Brotherhood here in America specifically, I mean, they're behind many of the efforts to normalize this type of thing.
Yes, I mean, the Muslim Brotherhood's motto in general, just part of it is jihad is our way, dying in the way of Allah is our highest hope. That basically says it all. They have been the vanguard of civilization jihad, and they are the ideological forefathers of Al-Qaeda, and their various chapters, such as Hamas, are rife with murderous thugs throughout the Middle East.
Right, and that phrase that you use, civilization jihad, I want to focus in on that, because it's not a phrase that we hear too often, more so, I guess, now that President Trump is president, but certainly during the Obama years, the Obama 8 years, we didn't hear that too much. Civilization jihad, Alex, and correct me if I'm wrong here, my understanding is that this is the strategy that the Muslim Brotherhood employs in order to, and it sounds a bit conspiracy theory to be honest, but to infiltrate our society in order to at some point impose Sharia law. I mean, explain this to me, because like I said, at first glance it sounds a little bit conspiracy.
Yeah, so during the Holy Land Foundation trial, which was the largest terrorist funding trial in American history, several of the pieces of evidence, including the explanatory memorandum of the Muslim Brotherhood in America, dictated that the goal of the Muslim Brotherhood in America was to impose itself into America through the use of civilization jihad, which was basically, instead of use of violence, to use the civilization structures, government, art, and various civil organizations to normalize the idea that Sharia is an acceptable and not a totalitarian ideology.
Right, it's actually very sneaky. It's almost using our freedom against us, using our structure of self-government against us. And some of these pillars of society that civilization jihad focuses on, I mean, these are quite scary if you look at them, Alex. It's academia, through our courts, through faith communities, interfaith dialogues, even through government, national security, local law enforcement. I mean, that's the most shocking of all, that the Muslim Brotherhood is affiliated in any way with the police who keep our communities safe.
Yes, with the former administration, particularly his Countering Violent Extremism program, you saw organizations such as CARE, which was an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation trial and shown to have connections with the Muslim Brotherhood. They were involved with the CVE program, and these organizations went out to teach about bias against Muslims and Islamophobia, and to discuss it and basically to whitewash any type of extremist ideology that are actually the underpinnings of some of these totalitarian viewpoints.
Right. It almost makes people, I think, regular everyday citizens fear the idea that if you see something strange, you say something, it could save lives. If you fear, this undefined overarching Islamophobia, then you might not say something if you see something that's dangerous. And I think that's the most dangerous part. Alex, thank you so much for being here. It was great to talk to you.